Welcome. Welcome to the celebrated
Nightly News of Calaveras County.
And today is Monday, and I'm Sarah.
And I'm John.
And we've had an interesting weekend.
It's been a
mixed bag.
It is. It's one of those weekends where it's not quite full-blown summer around here yet, but it's still a busy weekend.
It's warm, and there were a lot of things to do this weekend, and it was just a really busy weekend.
It was.
There were lots of people out there and lots of cars out there, and everybody was out enjoying the sunshine.
Yes, they were. And we'll start off with a sad story. This is a release from the Sheriff's Department this afternoon. Is a 9-year-old girl drowned over the weekend in New Hogan Reservoir. And from what we've read, she was only about 15 feet offshore, and I guess a wake from another boat caused her problems. Mm-hmm. And let's be careful out there, folks, and it's a sad one, because that's 9 years old.
9 years old. And apparently she just went under and did not resurface.
And that's sad, and it's tragic, because you have a 9-year-old, don't you? We have a 10-year-old.
I have an almost 9-year-old.
And it's just, it's incomprehensible to think what the family's going through right now and everything else. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the family, and that's unfortunately how we have to start off for tonight.
That's right. Bad news, and on to Board of Supervisors.
And the estimate, she perished in only 10 feet of water.
10 feet?
10 feet.
I thought it was 15 feet, but 15 yards away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those tragedies, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. And definitely.
See, the Board of Soups after that is basically
it's positively joyful. There's actually a lot going on in the consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors tomorrow. There are a lot of fee schedule changes. If you remember a couple weeks ago when we were at the roadshow for the Planning Commission in Murphy's, we talked about possible fee changes, and those are actually coming before the board tomorrow in the consent agenda. So unless they're pulled off the consent agenda, they will actually be adopted without discussion.
And this is one of the things where their budget deficit for this year, they're going to try to find a lot of little ways to make up that ground, right?
Exactly. That's my understanding. Yeah. That's typically what happens. A lot of times these fee schedule changes actually go towards covering the cost of doing business in the county, like sending out inspectors to restaurants or those types of activities. It's not always that the county sets a fee that actually covers the hourly wage of the people that go out. So usually these fee changes are because they're needed for the county to actually just operate in the black.
And that came up a few weeks ago when they were talking about these scales and the fees for the organic farmers. The basically decided to zero those out so they could help promote the organic farming and the farmers markets in the county.
Exactly, and promote Calaveras County.
Yeah.
Produce.
Calaveras grown and stuff. So that in a couple years they'll come back and do some confiscatory fee schedule. Just kidding.
Possibly not, though. Possibly not. That is conjecture on John's part.
Yes, it is. Yes. And a lot of what I say is conjecture. So it's just.
Another item that's coming before the board actually is from Public Works, and that is establishing a schedule of fees for the parcel fees for the solid waste in the county. So because the solid waste parcel fees are actually attached to the property in the county, and that's why when you actually go to the dump and you think it's free, it's actually not free. Exactly, those are actually attached to your property taxes, and you pay them annually.
But I still think that's a nice way of handling it, because if you go to adjacent counties, for example, Tuolumne and things like that, there is significantly less refuse and everything else in Calaveras County than Tuolumne.
Yes.
I mean significantly. I mean, from spending time living over there, from living in both counties, I think that's one of the things that Calaveras County does that makes itself very tourist friendly, so to speak. Because if you go down the back roads, there's not the wholesale dumping you see in a lot of rural counties. In Tuolumne County, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
And it's because there's no incentive I mean, there's no distance, I mean, because it costs a lot to take your stuff to the dump over there.
Exactly.
So if you're, you know, on a marginal income, so to speak, and you know,
it can be a little pricey.
Yeah,
definitely.
So it's like, okay, do we dye diapers for the kids or just dump the couch? Oh well.
You can answer that.
Yeah, but I think it's in some ways it's been a very smart thing for county-wise because it's kept the county cleaner.
It has.
It really.
And our dumps are sort of, well, they're not dumps. They're transfer stations.
Yes, transfer stations, yes.
Our transfer stations are sort of these pinnacles of
they're nice.
Solid waste.
They're nice. Yeah, they're very nice.
Facilities. Also, tomorrow they're going to talk about modifying the Copperopolis benefit base and fee.
Uh-huh.
And it is based on a 225-page document that they looked at in May.
Yeah.
So we don't have all those numbers for you, but we should tomorrow.
She's going to read it all.
I'll read the 225 pages tonight. So that's another fee increase. So it's like the day of fees of the Board of Supervisors.
It is fees, because they got to find a lot of ways to, because from talking to some realtors and stuff in the area, I mean, the real estate market is, you know, in the development market is a little depressed right now.
It's soft,
slow. So I think they got to find ways of making that up. So,
also some good news though. We do have county departments who are constantly trying to get grant money.
Right.
And another consent agenda item is actually from CalWorks and Human Services. And what they will be looking at is approving a potential partnership with the California Social Work Education Center and the New York Academy of Medicine to submit a grant fund from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. And this foundation is actually very interesting. What they do is they provide grant monies.
I've driven by the headquarters of the foundation.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
That's very cool. But what they do is
not that anybody really
yeah,
cares.
exactly. He was like, "What's that?" But what they do is they
Somewhere
provide
in New Jersey.
yeah, they provide help to educate people who are already in the medical field.
Okay.
And
to advance their
careers, so that people ultimately have better health care.
Very nice.
So it's very nice. And actually, if they get that grant, it is a substantial amount. Let me tell you how much it is. It's $437,750 for three years. So that would definitely help the CalWorks program.
Oh, very nice.
For their workforce program.
Oh, yeah.
Work-based learning for quality care. So I thought that was a very cool thing. And,
very nice.
Our county departments are very good about going out and uncovering grant money.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. We need it.
Yeah. And also, I guess, moving to kind of a fun little piece, the Santa Clara Vanguard. So if you've driven down Murphy's Grade Road or through Angels Campus last week, you've probably heard the sound of distant drums, and sometimes not distant drums at all.
So
they were right there, yeah.
Right next to the
and this is this is their 40th year. This is a Santa Clara-based performing organization, and they put on a concert.
As a thank you concert.
They did
to
a
the
thank
community.
you concert, and it was very well done. We have a nice piece on it on the site,
and I have to say, there's a photograph on the site that John took.
Yes.
And if you watch us regularly, you'll know that I sort of rib John about his panning abilities when he's actually operating the camera. But this is a beautiful photograph. So even if you don't watch the video, we hope you do, because the video is excellent. Definitely take a gander at this photograph that John took.
It's the sun setting behind the horns. Behind the horns, right?
I actually gave him a pat on the back when I saw that.
Wow, see? And those are hard to earn.
Yes,
they are. Really hard to earn. And here, we'll give you a brief, little tiny tidbit of how it sounded. Here we go. See?
Yeah. And when you watch the video, you'll be able to see them all walking around
it's pretty
and doing
amazing. Their
routine.
They do it backwards, forwards. They got dancers.
It's amazing.
It
is amazing.
It is. Pretty amazing. Also, let's see. Also,
police and firefighters.
Yeah, and the Angels Murphy Rotary Club has its Officers of the Year luncheon.
Yes.
And This was the first year that they've honored firefighters as well, correct?
Yes, that's my understanding. So in actual fact, 6 officers and, well, inclusive of firefighters, were honored at this luncheon. And let's see here, special presentation to the Chief of Angels Camp Police Department, Tony Toquera. And also...
He's leaving. Well, he wants to leave.
He wants to leave?
Yeah.
They're not letting him, huh?
Well, no, I mean, I think he's announced that they need to look for his replacement.
His replacement. Yeah. He's been there a few years. CHP Officer of the Year was Sergeant Mike Pyle. And Angels Camp Police Department Officer of the Year was Patrolman Dave Scarborough. Senior Deputy Sheriff of Rick DeBasilio. I just butchered that name. DeBasilio, Sheriff's Department Officer of the Year. See, he could have jumped in, but
rarely does the amateur have to step in, but
You just let me butcher your name. I'm sorry.
I take great pride in having to, every once in a while, that I can actually pronounce something that Sarah can't. So, right?
Anyway, Angels Camp Fire Department Officer of the Year was Engineer Jess Trulock. And California Fire Protection Officer of the Year was Fireman Jeff Miller. And let's see, Sierra Conservation Camp Officer of the Year was Correctional Sergeant Don Conant.
Yes. And also they also gave presented a photograph and stuff of Jared Portinga,
who was Officer of the Year in 2005.
Yeah, so it was a tie-in there that I think was a little touching as well. So congratulations to the winners.
Definitely.
And
you know what's amazing? I have to throw this in is that when Supervisor Bill Claudino was CHP officer. When he first started, I believe it was in the 60s.
Sure.
And if I get it wrong, Bill, just email the site to John.
To me,
John
okay,
at
all right.
thepinetree.net. He was the only CHP officer in this county.
That's the only one?
The only one. He patrolled the whole county.
Wow. Now that's using your taxpayer dollars efficiently, right?
That's right. Yeah. He was just all over the county.
And also a little bit of announcements today is they have announced a new concert date for Ironstone. And this one's going to be fun. It's going to be Bryan Adams and George Thorogood. And this is going to be October 5th. And this is the one that will be on the Saturday night of the Grape Stomp. So you can go out there,
do your
stomp grapes all day, and then...
Are you going to have a team out there at the Grape Stomp this year?
I don't think so. Not me.
You and your wife could.
I'm just going to tape it.
Do the Grape Stomp.
I'm a George Thorogood fan. We were looking on his site for, songs that you might remember, but I think they have just the ones that were from his new album up there. But let's see. We have a little piece that's kind of a little bluesy.
A little
sample.
A little bluesy sample.
George Thorogood. That might have been on a dance. Will make people sick, but...
As long as you're not doing the river dance, we're all happy.
So October 5th, George Thorogood and Bryan Adams have been added to the a great Ironstone concert lineup for this year.
And it's beautiful to go out there and sit and just enjoy an evening.
And while we're out there at Ironstone, should we talk about barbecue?
Oh, hey, barbecue.
They had their first barbecue competition. And we have a nice little interview with the executive chef out there. And so if you look on the site about the barbecue, it's kind of a fun thing. And they're going to do this as an annual tradition. So if you think you can do good barbecue, by next year, enter and go out there and
barbecue away. What's interesting is they did it like all the professional barbecue competitions. You had to bring your own meat.
Oh, everything, yeah.
Your own rubs, your own whatever people do to their barbecue, and your own cooking equipment.
Yeah.
Which I thought was sort of interesting. I didn't realize they were going to be that professional about it, but they were.
There's guys that would cook on gas, and there's ones that wouldn't touch gas. They got to have the briquettes and all the rest of that stuff.
Do you barbecue?
Are you kidding? somehow mac and cheese just doesn't do real well.
Oh, that's right.
Grill.
You're not a meat
It doesn't
eater.
really, mac and cheese just...
It just melts through those little slots,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it's just... It's kind of pointless to do yeah.
Okay, no barbecue for you this summer.
And also, Murphy's Creek Theater is getting ready to fire on up. So they're opening with As You Like It. And this one opens up on June 22 with the
That's
romantic...
just around the corner.
I know.
That's a Thursday night.
And also, it looks
No,
like...
it's not. It's a Friday
Have you
night.
driven through Murphy's and seen they're adding a little, like the Murphy's box office? You know where the little small building is, where they have the sell the snow cones or the shaved ice there? Mm-hmm. Looks like you'll be able to purchase your Murphy's Creek Theater tickets there
Right
as
there.
well. Right there.
Very nice.
So
Very
that way you can
nice.
get a...
So are they having a huge opening night gala since you are the Murphy's Creek Theater guy tonight?
I am?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, it's opening... I mean, every opening night is a big night, right?
Well, usually the first night is sort of a gala. In theater world.
Okay.
Maybe
So I would have to wear pants?
Let's hope so.
As
If you're
opposed-
not, I'm not going.
As opposed to shorts.
Oh, okay.
Not
Maybe
as, not
a
as
kilt.
opposed
Maybe
to,
you're Scottish and I didn't know.
Yes, okay. All right. Yeah.
That was really scary.
She took that wrong. Yes. And As You Like It, Rosalind and her cousin Celia escaped to the forest of Arden after being banished from the court of Duke Frederick, who has usurped her father, Duke Senior. There, disguised as a boy, Ganymede, she encounters the man she loves, Orlando.
Is that Orlando Bloom?
I don't think so.
I've
And
fallen
proceeds
off
to
with him, too.
teach him how to properly woo a woman. Meanwhile, I could probably use some lessons on wooing, but that's an entirely
You're
different
already
subject.
married. You don't
Yes.
have to worry about it.
Okay, well, my wife could
Oh,
probably... yeah, okay.
Well, we're
Meanwhile,
not going there.
Phoebe the shepherdess has fallen for the boy, Ganymede, while the lovesick shepherd, Sylvius, pines for Phoebe. And Celia finds love with Orlando's estranged brother, Oliver. One of Shakespeare's most popular and delightful romantic comedies. As You Like It, filled with laughter, music, and shrewd observations about life, love, and human nature.
Well, there's something to go see.
There you go. All right, June 22.
And the price of tickets?
It is, well, it's certainly
It's
less
actually
than
a
what it's
great
worth.
deal.
Yeah.
It's a great deal. And you can get
$15 each.
season tickets
$20.
as well.
Adult ticket prices are $18 in advance, $20 at the door Thursdays and on Thursdays, and $20 in advance and $22 at the door on Fridays and Saturdays. Groups of 10 or more attending a single performance are $15 each. And to order, call 728-8422 and buy your tickets. And tell them you heard us on the Pine Tree.
That's right.
Yeah.
You tell them.
Because they'll charge you double. Because if you say that you heard it on the Pine... Yeah.
They really won't.
No, they won't.
Actually.
Yeah. I doubt you get a discount, but, you know.
Yeah, but, you
Yeah.
know, you can tell them you heard it about it here. Also, the Starbucks.
Yeah. Did you want to go into that one? I didn't know if you were going to talk...
No, we're not
Disneyland.
into Disneyland.
Okay, all right. She's got a Disneyland piece. Okay. Also, I think this was one of the last fundraisers for Jared Portinga and his family. And this one was in front of Starbucks. They really rolled out the red carpet. They had
They did a
karaoke, live
nice
music,
job.
bake sales, hot dogs. And the touching thing was there was a huge turnout from the Portinga family. And
I saw that.
And there was a really big turnout from the family, and we spoke briefly with his widow, and seeing the widow there with the children is just it was
heart-wrenching.
It was gut wrenching. It really was, and it really puts a face with the grief. And the family was very appreciative of what Calaveras County has done for them, and it's really been amazing, the outpouring of people opening their hearts and wallets to the family, and probably amongst the different fundraisers and things like that, there will be a sizable sum, probably over $50,000 raised. I would say in combination. This last one was over $5,000 here. I know the Fill the Boot was a significant amount, and I don't know how many have been just checks mailed into the bank.
And you can still mail checks into Pacific State Bank.
Pacific State Bank for the Portinga Family Fund, and it was seeing those little kids out there. You know, it's just
they're just little guys too.
They are, and they're not. You know, anyway. So that was a very nice fundraiser, and they had karaoke and stuff, and there was a Starbucks employee out there doing karaoke, and he did a wonderful job.
He did do a great job.
Yeah. So
should we give them a little listen?
So if you want to hear Dusty Miller doing his karaoke in front of Starbucks, let's see here.
We'll just give you
a little
listen.
bit of it. Here we go. Dusty does a very nice job.
He has a beautiful voice.
Yeah, he really does.
And you can listen to the whole song.
The whole thing.
The whole song.
And we did lots of panning in this clip. We did a...
slow panning, I hope.
It was very slow panning. So during the song, we gave you a little 360 view of all the goings-on there. It's very, very well done. And thanks to all the people who volunteered. Because you notice in most things, there's always this group of like 15 or 20 people that seem to be behind all of them. The benevolent acts of
in Calaveras
all the time.
County.
Yeah,
they're at the Murphy's Christmas dinner. They're at the coat donation.
That's pretty amazing.
They're at the food bank. They are basically everywhere.
Yeah.
And it is an amazing thing, and they raise a lot of money for the charities in this county. And Disneyland now, right?
There you go.
I can talk about Disneyland. For those of you who frequent Disneyland like I do, Disneyland is the happiest place on earth.
It is.
And have noticed that the submarine ride has been gone for quite a few years
with
nothing in its place.
That's right. So Nemo's open?
Finding Nemo open today. Today. First submarine voyage for the Finding Nemo ride was today.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
Very nice. So, that should be fun.
It should be. It should be, if you like water.
If you like water? Well, even if you don't, they're not going to get you that
Even if you don't,
wet.
they're not going to drown you, right?
They're not going to drown you in that. It's Disneyland.
It's Disneyland.
Oh, speaking of that,
great.
Did you see over the weekend that the power went off at an amusement park back east?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, and people were hanging upside down on a roller coaster.
Well, that shouldn't make any difference. Because when with roller coasters, they work on their own.
No, this one was just...
Oh, it was. So
because it was before, it was probably while it was still in the powered mode or something, but it was something weird. But it actually hung upside down. Oh. And these people were literally hanging there for half an hour until they could get the fire department had to go up with and actually remove them.
Oh, yes.
And it was
I imagine so.
They said several people basically once they got on the ground threw up. And it was just.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? They literally were hanging there for
half an hour.
Half an hour.
I can't even imagine that.
And
that just is a really odd thing because most roller coasters, once they're out of that shooting them out part of it,
we saw a picture on it online. And they were literally...
They go on their own, typically on their own power.
Yes.
Which is like, exactly. Which is why you have
and
the long
was
drops.
Atypical.
Ooh, yes.
And it was very...
I imagine it was a little dicey.
Yeah, it was...
Because I don't think people are intended to be hung upside down for half an hour.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, probably some really red-faced people.
Sounds like a little like torture treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else in the national news you want to cover?
No, it's just Nemo.
A couple little highlighting things, kind of funny stuff here. Let's see. Let's see.
He just went into brain freeze.
Yeah, I lost it. Okay,
you would think he had an icy or something.
See, we had The California bill will require neutered pets. We hadn't talked about that yet, had we?
I talked about it last week. I talked
that's
about
right.
it.
You were ahead of the curve.
That's right.
Okay, she was way ahead of the curve. Now the national news. Sorry.
We talked about that.
A woman was refused time off work to donate a kidney.
Really?
Yeah, so she couldn't.
Well, I guess it's not a medical condition.
If you're donating,
it
is for somebody else.
Well, yes, but it's not for the person asking for medical time off.
The Gonzales no confidence vote died in the Senate, so I guess they didn't. Now, if a no confidence vote dies, does that mean they had confidence in him?
I think they just couldn't get enough political votes to get the no confidence vote. It's kind of like that not guilty verdict.
Yeah.
It just means that you could be not guilty or that they don't have enough evidence to convict you.
Yeah.
Could be one or the other, see.
So are we going on to weather? What are we doing here?
I'm just over here. Let's see. Oh, well, they sent Hilton back to jail.
Huh?
Paris Hilton.
Oh, we
remember
knew that.
She got out of jail.
Now she's
but
back
this
in.
is since Thursday.
Yes. Did you see the Barbara Walters interviewed her?
No, I didn't see that.
I guess Paris has ostensibly found religion, and she says when she gets out, she wants to no longer be the frivolous girl that she was.
I still want to know what the medical condition was that allowed her to get out. What was it?
Well, she didn't eat or drink for you didn't read any of this stuff over the weekend?
No.
Okay,
no.
she didn't eat or drink for 3 days. All right? And
I was doing other stuff over the weekend.
And the real thing was she was
dehydrated?
afraid of one of the guards or somebody taking a picture of her using the facilities, like the restroom and stuff like that. And that ended up being online. So she was actually very concerned about her image.
Her image. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Because if she views herself as queenly, sitting on that throne may not
may not go with the image. But
yeah.
the thing is that how many people actually think of her as queenly? She's just a real person after all.
That's true.
But that would definitely be an invasion of privacy.
You would think so.
Especially if they sold the photos.
Yes.
So no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Because there was some speculation that she actually was taking medication for a psychological.
Well, and the other thing is yes, she deserved to go to jail, but really I heard some commentary on this. She's actually being held to a higher because she's getting a lot of time.
Yes, but she was caught twice.
Oh, I know.
I know. But also, you have to look at it. But if it was in Calaveras County, she wouldn't have received any. Well, it's because our jail is overcrowded. But
right?
Which we're not going there. It depends on the jurisdiction. Apparently, in L.A. County, it is not an unusual sentence, is what I read.
So that's actually a tough county?
Yes, apparently, in certain instances. In other counties, it would be a very tough sentence.
Yeah, okay.
But you figure she violated her probation twice, not just once.
Oh, I know. I know she deserved, she just...
But it's very dependent on the county you're in and how strictly they adhere to the law.
Right.
And from what I heard, LA County is like that. But there's also the other side of it that she never really committed any other crime.
Yeah, I know.
Except for driving under the influence and then being caught.
Well, some people think that her day-to-day behavior is criminal. That's...
if you see an interview with her or actually see long footage of her on the red carpet, she's very good at knowing which is her best side to turn to the camera.
There you go.
And that's what she's very good at, quite frankly.
And then there's those of us that don't have a best side.
So you just look at it for both sides.
There we go. All right. Arnold weather. Mm-hmm. Tonight, low of 56. Tomorrow, high of 87. Low of 63 tomorrow night, and it's warming up. Mm-hmm. On Wednesday, high of 88. Wednesday night, low of 64. And on Thursday, a high of 91.
That's in Arnold.
Arnold. A high of 89 on Friday, so we get a little bit of a cool down before the weekend. But summer is here.
Definitely. Bear Valley. Tonight, 46 degrees. Tuesday, a high of 76 in Bear Valley. Wednesday, 77 degree high. And Thursday, 80 degree high.
Murphy's, here we go. Low of 54 tonight. Tomorrow, high of 90. Low of 62 tomorrow night. High of 92 on Wednesday. Low of 63 and then high of 94 on Thursday. So summer is here.
Summer is definitely here. And we'll see about Angels Camp. Let's see here. Tonight, high of 56 degrees. And I just moved the wrong little cursor here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey, let's get back here. Make sure. There we go. Oh, what did I do here? I lost my cursor.
You lost your cursor?
I lost my cursor.
Oh, no.
If I was an actual weather person, we'd be doing the river dance.
So, the river dance. Aha.
Tomorrow, 89-degree high. Low of 66 degrees. And Wednesday, 92-degree high. And Thursday, a high of 93 degrees.
So it's actually warmer in Murphy's again, huh?
Yes. That happens quite frequently.
Like a degree, huh? Mm-hmm. But also this time of year, this is the nice thing about being up here is this time of year you can get any weather you like.
Pretty much, actually.
You know? So, I mean,
pretty much.
Because that way you can head up the hill and drop 20, 30 degrees, go from 105 to 80 or whatever.
80, and exactly. You know, so it feels a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And also we would be remiss without doing the weather for Bangor, Maine. So tonight in Bangor, you have a low of 56 degrees in Bangor, partly cloudy, chance of showers. Tomorrow, high of 76 with a low of 50, and it will be raining tomorrow. There will be it will be rain. Get some rain, a few drifts tomorrow in Bangor. On Wednesday, a high of 71, a low of 48, and partly cloudy on Wednesday. Yep. So if you're in Bangor, Maine, tomorrow is not a good day to go fishing unless you really wear your slickers. But on Wednesday, it looks like a really nice day to go set the lobster pots.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So there you go, because you need to set those lobster pots so you can ship the lobster somewhere else. Yes.
We like it on ice. Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good night.
And we'll see you again tomorrow night.